Welcome back to the channel, boys. We are back to work on our Freno, our free Yamaha Vino budget build. And if you aren't familiar with the Freno, this was a free scooter that a homie dropped off to us, and we ended up going full budget build on doing a 70 kit, finding the cheapest but yet still quality 70cc kit that we put on here, and that was an aerosol kit. We are into this scooter a little under $200 now with a full budget build. We kept the stock crank. We have a Polini CP21 carburetor on there, and the only other things we did besides the big bore kit was an ignition wire, a new spark plug, and we put on this S23 canister pipe that I had sitting around already. We also went in and we added some parts into our CVT, but all those parts we had laying around in the garage, so those were all free already. A few other random goodies around this scooter because we were missing some things, but other than that, we kind of just slapped this scooter together with no cares given. I think people always enjoy the cheap and budget style stuff with these scooters, so this one is kind of a fun one. And today we have a new budget item to add to the Freno. We are also going to be doing some tuning on this scooter because if you saw last time we rode it, it was not running too great. It was also revving way too high. We got some CVT work to do to this thing, and we also have some modding to do to make sure this new exhaust fits. Let's go ahead and check out the new exhaust that we're gonna be adding on today. Here is our cheap exhaust that we're gonna be trying out today. Now, I don't even know the brand of this exhaust. I was actually sent this exhaust by the homies at Scooter Swap Shop a few months ago to try out, just to see if it's a decent exhaust for the price. I know this thing was just a little bit over $100, so fairly cheap compared to Yasunis and all the other performance exhausts that this one kind of replicates. It does not look too bad, other than small flaws like this little metal overhang over here. This looks very cheap, and then this looks very cheap back here. But honestly, this seal is huge. It probably seals up better than most of the pipes that we do run. But one thing is, this pipe is actually really heavy for some reason. The welds and everything like that look identical to all the other Taiwan or China made pipes that we get. This looks a little different on the surfacing, but yeah. So not sure exactly how good this is going to bolt up. Typically when you cheap out on the exhaust stuff, a lot of it might look the same, but you deal with fitment issues, and I think that's what we're going to find out here very shortly and see how this thing bolts up. What we're running currently is that canister style pipe, and those are very bottom end style pipes. But on this one, we might experience a little bit difference of a style of tunings. We'll get a better comparison when we pull this one off the bike, but that's the difference in the styles that we're talking about here. V8 style pipe, everything kind of just goes into here, and there's a baffle that's kind of coned and flipped in here, and that's how it's kind of representing this cone style look to it. Whereas this one's an actual chamber and then a separated silencer. So a lot of people usually prefer these style pipes on two strokes, but when it comes to stock bikes, these are typically what comes on a stock bike most of the time, on at least the smaller bikes, the 50cc's. They can really open up a stock 50 bike and make them way more powerful. So this was my first time ever trying this style pipe on a 70cc. Not saying it wasn't good, but the bike was not fully tuned. But I do honestly think that this will be better. Luckily, this bolt didn't even line up on this pipe either, so we're gonna have the one bolt in there. Let's actually put this bolt back in to take some of the weight off that. We need to increase the budget and get a new shock on here. I think I have a spare tire to throw on the front too, because we had that issue last time, where the tire just kept going flat. As you can see here, we have a difference in the size of the diameter of our header. So this one on the canister pipe was obviously breathing really nice, but this one's a little smaller, so that might play a factor here. But we're not down it yet. We're not down her yet. But the small differences you could see here is this one kind of has a nicer flow to it straight down. This one has an aggressive bend right here. This could help, could not help. As you know, two strokes, they like a lot of back pressure sometimes. So I'm not an expert in science of exhaust on a two stroke. I just know how they kind of work. Kind of a pie cut style pipe, so it gradually gets bigger as it goes up, whereas this one, it goes straight into a cone. So we go into a bigger diameter almost instantly right when this thing straightens up here, whereas this one's kind of gradual and then back here. So kind of curious to see the power difference in here. Only one way to find out, boys. Let's see how she bolts up. No, it's not too bad. It might line up. Let's see how she's looking down at below. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna get the bottom one in, but I'm not worried about that bottom one. I love not caring on this project. a nice feeling. Switch up a little bit. Going from last working on these easy cubs and caring about every bolt, hop in on this thing, and now we don't care. Let's see how she sounds. All right. Ow. Add sharp pieces of metal all over that pipe. Sounds really good. It sounds pretty good. I'm actually surprised. All right. As you can see on this scooter, everything is sitting very, very low. There's not much room between the rear and the tire, and with me sitting on it, there's really not a lot of room. So we're gonna try to see if this used shock I just found, I don't know what it came off of, but it looks to be pretty similar to here, but it's a lot longer. So it might be too damn long, but let's throw it in and see. The only thing is I doubt the center stand is gonna work now. Center stand will definitely not work now. Did not really think that through. I like it though. It's like a side stand now. But it feels a lot better. Oh, our filter kind of hits now, so we might have to cut this out. I think we did that on the jog if I remember right, so might have to do it to this thing now. Just pulled the plug on it, and plug's actually looking decently rich, which I am totally okay with, given this thing does not have a temp gauge and it was on break-in. So here we have a donor tire. It's a lot bigger, but I think it's gonna work. So now we gotta work on getting it off this wheel and swapping it over. So do that real quick. We got all this stripped apart, and yeah, we're getting things crushed out on her. We also just added a new kickstand spring to stiffen it up because the kickstand was flopping a ton. So got that, kind of moved the air filter. New shock, dude. The Freno's big upgrades today, big upgrades. We have also now removed the front fender because we are going to be painting that black. I think it's gonna look a little bit better with the way we're gonna be building this scooter very, very soon. And now we successfully have the tire on there. The only problem is this is a way bigger tire than the one we were running previously. So I'm about to put it on and see if it all fits. We also spray painted our front fender. As you can tell, it is no longer that silver, it is black, because we now know what we're gonna be doing with this bike, and you'll see that more in the next episode. We'll get all that situated, and I'm gonna go try the bike again with the new pipe and hopefully a better tune on it, and get this thing dialed in, because this bike has potential. Granted, we don't have the best cylinder kit and we're running stock crank, but this thing has potential. So let's get this front end thrown back together, get that CVT dialed. Would you just look how good this thing is sitting now? It is sitting so much taller, where the center stand barely works now because the rear shock and the tires are way taller than stock, but it's sitting good. It looks way more aggressive. All right, I just took it for a little rip down the block, and I'm definitely feeling the belt slip. So that's the first thing we're gonna look at right now. Pop the CVT cover off, check that out. Luckily we didn't put all these screws in yet. It's weird, it's like this belt's not long enough almost. Like, it doesn't sit that high up in the pulley. We have a lot of spacers in here, but I was hoping to build that belt a little higher up on the rear. It's kind of crazy how low it's sitting in there. Let's go ahead and take the electric start out. All right, We got the belt to sit a lot higher back here now, moving these washers around, taking out the electric start. We put a little bit of spacers back there. We kind of slid everything more onto it, and it seems like it likes that a lot more. So. All right, boys, we're gonna go test out the Vino now with all the upgrades that we just did, the fresh tires, suspension, the paint, all the goodies that we got going on here. And we don't have the draggy charged, messed up there, but I do have a GPS speedometer app that is pretty damn accurate from everything I've tried in my vehicles and my cars and everything. So yeah, we'll try that as well. It almost still feels like a belt is slipping or something. Like, just feels so weird in the bottom end on this bike. I can't describe it really. It's not really that it feels bad, it's more of just sounds crazy. Like, it just sounds insane. It sounds so much different than any other time I've heard a Pliny carb. Gotta be some belt slip there. Oh, we lost our screwdriver. Oh, damn. We didn't lose the gas cap this time, though. I didn't even notice that thing fell out. Alright, let's go, let's go check this, spark plug again and see what the hell's going on. I don't even have a temp gauge on this, so this one's kind of confusing to tune right now. I'll tell you what, with the new shock though, it wheelies so much better. Last time in the last video we were having problems squirreling all over the place, but this road's on a slant and I can actually control it better. Oh my god, that front end. Oh my god, that front end is sketchy on this. That's what it sounds like when you hit the front brakes on this thing though. That's the front suspension just dives in. It's so terrible. This carb, it doesn't like something in there. Let's give this thing some more fuel and see what it likes, boys. All right, first thing we're doing is adjusting the needle clip before we change the actual carb jetting, because the needle clip was all the way at the top setting, which means this needle was sitting furthest down into the jet. On the slide, so when you pull it up, it lets the least amount of fuel in past here. If you lower this needle clip, it's kind of hard to focus. If you lower the needle clip to the bottom setting, the jet's sitting higher up in the carb, allowing more fuel to pass through the bottom. That's kind of how it works. But basically, it was at the top setting, so in the leanest condition, I put it back to where it comes stock, pretty much out of the box, which is the middle setting. So that's going to give it a little bit more fuel on the crack of the throttle, and that might suffice to just be enough. I'll throw it all back together and try it again and again. That's part of the tuning process, but she feels a lot better. I'm liking this pipe actually a lot, so I like it. Without changing any of the tune from what we had the old pipe on and throwing this one straight on, I like the mid-range and the power it kind of gave it. We definitely got some more mile per hour too. I think I only saw like 45, but last time in the last video, it was a total different sound on how we were riding this bike. Anyways, we got our rollers here, and we're gonna figure out what weight we got, and we're gonna up those a little bit. But man, all these pieces are scorching hot. It is time to try it again. We just upped all the rollers now to 7 gram rollers, which before we were running 5.5. So all of them are 7 grams now. We added a lot of weight to that. Curious to see. We had a lot of fuel, added a lot of weight. Usually those two are big changes. So we did both of them at one time. So I'm kind of guesstimating here, but I think it might be better. The carb tuning is just so weird on this one. We brought the revs down. That carb needs more fuel. Alright, for some reason I can't find my jets from 90 to 100, so we went from a 90 jet to 100 because I can't find any jets less than 100 right now. So we threw a 100 main in and we downed the pilot because the pilot seemed super rich. It was a 40 pilot. We put a 34 in there. Now the only reason I think the pilot was so rich is because The bottom end was just super gargly, and the filter is absolutely soaked. Granted, we moved the needle clip a little bit up, but that was crazy. So I'm assuming it's a little rich on the bottom end, and then the top end, we just pulled the plug again. It doesn't look too rich in the top, so we richened that up as well. Let's see if it's any better. Let's see what it's all about now. It sounded better when I just started it up right now, so let's see if it's actually any better. Runs good though. It wanted more fuel on the bottom end. More fuel, more fuel. All right. All right, we tore the car back apart, and then we realized that we don't have any more pilot jets 40 plus. I don't know where my main jet kits that I use every day, from the 90 to 100 mains and then the 40 plus pilots, but both jet kits are gone. Maybe I lost them or I left them in one of the toolboxes somewhere, but we don't got time for that right now. So I'm taking the carb off of our Bug Eye stunt build here. This is now a CP 21mm carb. The one that we're tuning here on this Vino was a CP 19. Typically only run the CP 21s, but I had a CP 19 because I just thought that this was a lower end kit, and I got a smaller carb, but I feel like it wants a bigger carb. So we're gonna try the CP 21 and see if that'll fix our issues, since we don't have the jets to mess with right now. This new carb is on there. It's feeling a lot better. Not gonna lie, it sounds a lot better. Let's go see what it's all about. This thing wants such a different tune than any other bike. We just took this off a 70 swapped Minarelli horizontal, and it still has a weird top end tune to it, man. This thing needs some major tuning, but we literally don't know where our jet kit went. It's got good mid-range now with this pipe though, that's for sure. It pulls through, and the heavier rollers feel a lot better on this thing. But all right, I think we're gonna order some final things for this bike. Let's order some jets. Let's order a new belt, because I do not like the way this belt is, and I still feel like the belt's slipping. Carb sounds really rough still. Bottom end now on this one, just the top end feels wonky. We are going back yet again, because one, I lost my screwdriver again. Two, we just upjetted to a 106. It had 100 in it. Sounds a lot better actually. Oh wait, I don't hear any breaking up. Oh, there it goes. What just happened? Did we just run out of gas? Or did we just blow it up? Well, something happened. I think we're bone dry, boys. Oh no, we ran out of gas. Alright, we're currently stealing gas from the GP1, so then we can go search for our screwdriver and give this thing a final test drive. See it like starts to break through right there and run super crazy. There's a lot of people active when we rode by here last, so my screwdriver might have got stolen, not gonna lie. I think that we're gonna get some final things for this scooter. I think it's just begging for it at this point. I think we're abusing this thing too much now and not taking the proper steps. Dude, where'd our screwdriver go? We got jacked, bro. Alright boys, this is about to be it for testing, because we're out of light, no lights, and we're out of tools. We definitely got some mile per hour out of this thing with this pipe and power in the mid-range. It's definitely a little draggy, like slow off the line now because we have 7-gram rollers, but it's a steady, consistent pull, and we're seeing about like high 40, 50 miles per hour. I'm not sure exactly what we should be seeing on this kit, because we did go super budget on the kit, boys. It's not bad. I don't know how much you guys can see right now on the GoPro. It's late at night now. So this pipe cruises now on the wheelies. It sounds a little gargly though still. The top end. Kind of goes inconsistent. Right there, like clears out for a second. Not bad for a little budget slap together build. I think we got more potential of this. I think this belt is really, really worn. I think with a new belt and the CVT a little bit better, maybe a little bit more on the carb tuning when we get some jets, I think we'll easily be in the 50 miles per hour. Also, let's get a temp gauge for this thing because it is hard to get this tune right now without really seeing the temps. Because it's sounding like it's rich, but it's reading like it's hot. So, kind of interesting, boys. I like this pipe a lot on it. Alright boys, I think that's going to do it for this episode on the Freno. We got it pretty dialed this time, especially on the front end, actually feeling a lot better with the tire and that rear shock changing the game. Because before I could not even get this thing to wheelie in a straight line. Now it feels pretty spot on back there. So I'm gonna order up some jets. I'm also going to set up the CVT a little bit better. So we're going to order a new belt for that and maybe a few other goodies for this thing and get this thing solid and ripping. But we definitely got it at least 25% better than last time. This pipe definitely makes it feel a lot better in the mid-range, but we're one step closer, and I think we're going to have this thing super dialed in the next one. This pipe is hitting, though. I like this pipe for the wheelies. That is going to do it for this video, boys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.